Well, we meet again, friends. Here I am chatting with you guys at the wee hours of the morning, sipping coffee and getting myself back in the routines with late by 2 days again. This episode, I have some notes that I actually wrote down, and I have to actually even open them up. I have to even open up the notes that I have written down after this introduction, but I'm going to set the pace a little bit and just kind of set the vibe for the opening introduction here. Recent releases I'm going to be talking about, and the narratives specifically that I've been writing about them, as I can simply indulge in linguistic pleasures without the being worried about, I'm a little self-conscious about it, but I'm not too insecure about it. That nobody's writing their own narratives now. Nobody's really doing much of anything themselves nowadays. So me indulging in that is quite time-consuming, and having the opportunity to do it is only all the better if I can sit here and talk. That is going to be what I want to talk about. And now I'm just straight up killing time for the rest of this introduction. But I know there's some thoughts escaping me somewhere in there. Somewhere floating around in my think tank, there's some other thoughts and ideas floating around that I have to freaking get out. But for the lack of being able to find it, I'll just say, it's good to be back, man. It's good to be back. Alright. I'm mickeygemineye. This is Vault of Doom, episode 31. Let's go! Vault of Doom podcast. Alright, so here we are, this far into season 3 of Vault of Doom podcast. And I gotta say, I'm really just wanting to share a few of these details with you guys because it's kind of cool how it works out. I just want to get straight into it, start sinking my teeth into it right away. 3 weeks ago, I just put out the double EP, the debut for my recent current running project, Pitiful Spawn, that had 22 tracks in 22 days. I just did 36 minutes of black metal mayhem in 5 hours, and working my way up to episode 36 of the show is going to be the coup de grace, and most likely trying to have a discussion about Satanism and satanic values, ethics, and the like. But there's certainly going to have to be that airing on the 36th episode for sure. And when I mapped out that with my calendar, it looks like that it won't be debut if I'm on schedule, which there isn't any reason that I shouldn't be on schedule, but if I'm on schedule, it should be airing mid-September. So you can look forward to that. As well as the stuff I just put out. the YouTube is bumping. The YouTube is jamming pretty hard with like my little shorts that I have put out. I just have to ask myself from time to time, really, are these fucking real views or are these fake views? Because this is a real concern. This is like a genuine concern about, are these real views? Or is this just, I am so paranoid about this kind of shit, where I ask myself all the time, like, is this like a, is this just people scrolling through? Is this just like real views? I mean, why would anybody want to watch my shit anyway, honestly? I mean, I've only been doing this for a while, but I am a little too hard on myself at times. I don't think I give myself enough credit, but at the same time I do, though. I do give myself plenty of credit, and Satan blesses me with many of my gifts, especially considering the ones that I fucking had just dealt with recently, where I was having some troubles. That's actually one of the things that I have written down in my notes, so I can segue right into that nice and easy. That I was having some problems with my vocals, even just earlier today, and then I saw a documentary that I was sharing with you guys about last episode, where there's a tip on there that I just was already following that guideline, and then I heard that again, so I was like, oh cool, that's a good reminder, nice, sweet. So then I had that to kind of help me out with what I need to focus on to keep my vocals in check. And having that be returned to me was another thing I was thinking about. It was like, it took up like a whole chunk of like a whole 10 seconds of my headspace just earlier tonight, and I'm thinking to myself something like, well, I don't want to have to go do a bunch of crazy shit or like physical exercise to get my vocals in check, but I want to be able to, fucking have my shit on point every time. And actually the recording actually did come out decent. You can even check it out, I think, what I'm talking about. It might not have actually, it's not on there. It's not on there, actually. I take that back. I second that. The part that was in check was where I just was like, alright, I got a little too cocky, Mickey. You got a little too cocky there for a second. And then I put myself back in check, like a true self-governing individual should. Anyway, that's one of the things that I have in my notes here. I want to start from the top, though, so I can just work my way on down and not get too lost. As I often do, I like to get lost, really, really lost. And speaking of which, I have to make sure I also look out for the interlude music queued up on here, because I got some queued up from the last episode. I'm just going to leave it there. By the by, I hope you guys don't mind all this little side banter that I'm going to be doing for a while until I get back on the routine of the regular show, where I have like real news that I'm digging up from magazines and digging up from news articles and digging up from interviews. And there's one interview on the back burner for right now that you guys can really look forward to. I'm going to make sure that I share some of their music on the episode, or the beginning or the end of the episode, or even just the middle, or even just a random place. Fuck it, just play the music in the background. I mean, shit. I wouldn't do that, though. I would make sure that the listener can actually hear the song. I don't want that shit just being background music. But yeah, you can look forward to that. It's going to be some badass discussions on the fucking genre, dude. The fucking genre, the fucking music, just the music in general, having everything just well, good and well on the interview stat quo. So I have starting off here on the top of these notes. One of the things that I noticed about my phone is I fucking go to share content and there's other people's shit on there. So that's like, if you look at any most verified accounts, that's why they have zero. They're following 0 people. It's not just to make a statement, though it is an excellent way to do so. It's got to be also so that you can't get distracted. Because if I'm not following anybody and my feed pops up, I don't care. I don't care what it is, even if it is interesting. I'm not following anybody. Obviously, you can't just jump right into that kind of thing, as I haven't. I'm slowly working my way back down to that. Though I know I'm already catalyzed. I'm like an active petri dish of some mushroom mycelial culture that's ready to start colonizing. And the fucking following's got to go to 0 on my shit, dude. It just does. Even though I like following the posts, I don't even interact with anybody on there anyway. It's like, it's whatever, you know. I can't be getting distracted. I literally go to I'm just sharing like one picture or something like that, and then I get this cool picture or video I'm looking at, and I'm like, it just totally fucks me all up because I'm sharing a bunch of shit. It fucks me all the way up because I'm sharing a bunch of shit through multiple platforms. So I have to maintain that momentum too. I definitely have to maintain that momentum. Speaking of, in that same domain, though, I do want to remain on the same domain on that, and kind of toot my own horn just a bit on the massive workload that I have been taking on, as it's not new. It's really not that new to me. I don't see it being a realistic thing at all that somebody could be doing the kind of workload that I do for consistently for an extensive amount of time by themselves. Though it does happen, though it can and basically will happen, as there is really no other option. Having it be that way, where I have set the bar, my personal bar, at where it's at right now, and in comparison to how it was at another point in time and a few other points in time, it's just got to stay this way. It's got to stay this way, where I'm pushing out this amount of content through on the YouTube. I've just started up my SoundCloud back again, so I have that going good. Bandcamp's going up and running. What are the other ones? So this, if you're listening to me on Spotify, I have to get my music on there, but there's just my podcasts are on there for right now. And the visuals are officially, I mentioned this on the last episode, and then went ahead and did it right away, right afterwards, that the visual is supposed to be available on this episode. It's already up. It's already available. So having the visuals up for your for YouTubers, people that like to view YouTube and see all that cool stuff, as I know I do. So, like, when my voice moves, the vibrations of my voice move through the microphone, you could see the waves shaping and all that stuff, like going up and down and all that stuff. So check that out on YouTube. Spotify, I don't know, Spotify's cool because you could download me, listen to me offline, and as I do myself. I do that myself for my own stuff. And as well as when I'm when I finish an album that's up on YouTube, if I want to listen to it again, I try to download it and then I'll have a copy of it, because you could download your own stuff on YouTube. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'll get back on track. The massive workload that I've been doing is it really is too much to explain. I'm going to warp your brain if I try to sit here and explain to you what it all is, what it all means. But put very simply, it's just these podcasts come out once a week. The music that I have available and in the works and in my studio, my recording studio right now, is totally and completely an undetermined amount of time that it's going to take. So I can't set deadlines for even the one that I have everything mapped out and the majority of the tracks already almost completely recorded. But that is news. That is real news. That's actual, real, factual news that I have, for the most part, the majority of the big one, the big cojones of my project, the concept albums. A very detailed narrative has been written for it. The movie, the film that goes along with it has all that ready to go too, and those are almost ready for upload. As for the other stuff that's on the side, like these little demos, these EPs, I'm super relieved right now that I have for the most part. I don't have all the demos out yet. I don't have all the demo EPs out just yet. But for now, I do. For now, I have all the demos, and the demo EPs are out. So I feel super relieved about that, and stoked and pumped about it. But it's just not the same unless I share it with you, do a viewing, make a big special event out of it. I think what I'll do for this episode is simply feature one song, as I did to the last episode from the debut EP, the very, very first one. And I'll just do one song for this at the end of the show, so you can check it out and let me know what you think. Make sure you also rate the show. I've looked at my Spotify rating. I've got a 2.5. I'm not happy with this. 2.5 stars out of 5 stars is half-assed, haphazard, piss poor quality podcast, and I do not pride myself into making piss poor quality anything. So these ratings of the show are one thing, and then you following me on social media and commenting with whatever I'm posting on there is another thing, and then commenting on the YouTube version too is helpful, as you can actually provide your feedback there, and then I can actually respond. So getting back to the show notes here, I think that's about it. I mean, other than the other YouTube channels that you can find on my link tree will have loads of other content too. I mean, there literally is just too much to mention. I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not even gonna jump down that rabbit hole. Not even gonna try. So I'm just gonna stick to the script. And that was where I started the little notes that I have for myself here, is that just sharing original content without the distractions of other profiles on my news feed is kind of like a priority for my to-do list. I think it's also important to mention too, like it's not important to make deadlines. I just got done mentioning that I don't have a deadline for this concept EP or the film to go along with it, even though it's for the most part done. Meeting deadlines is kind of stupid. Me having the freedom to not have to meet deadlines is cool. if I had to meet deadlines, if I had someone telling me what to do and they made sure that I met my deadlines, that's a different story. But I don't, so I don't. Now that the screen is glitching right here on me again, I have to really be finicky with my sensitive machine that bespeaks my personality. I simply have to accept that I am just as sensitive as my smartphone. It caused just as many problems too. So the other thing I have after that is that all the new re-released content on the new channel is a safe space now to discuss this. I don't want to overload you, just throw it all at you at one time right at the beginning. Instead, I'll just leave everything with its rightful place and time. And this is a place and time to discuss this now. So on the new channel, there's some old art that's for the logo, for the profile picture, that's not been drawn by me. I want to make sure that I specify this. I have to clarify this. On good principle. It's not my artwork. Someone else drew it, and then I put some filters on it, made it look cooler. So now that it's on there, it's a profile pic. There's loads of new content on there too. There's the best of the previous version of the podcast, the best of open mics. There are just uploaded today 2 complete audiobooks. With a these were all collaborative efforts. Every last one of them. The best of podcasts are all guest appearances. This is just me babbling by myself right now, but the previous version of the show, when I was taking on as heavy of a workload as I am right now, going to open mics every single day, recording podcasts every single month, writing loads of poems and songs, doing the research that fuels what I'm writing so that I know what I'm writing about. And there's guests on there that you want to see, where we're talking about black metal, cannabis. I think at one point in time there was dildos mentioned, ancient dildos uncovered by archaeologists that were made out of stone and stuff, and cultures, doing what you love for a living, etc., etc. So go and check it out. It's on the linktr. The linktr bears the fateful message of where to find all these mystical, mythical happenings here, in whichever name that you want to call it. Like, literally has this place that I am right now, it has like 2 names. So I don't mean to confuse you, but it's inevitable. It is indubitable. I will confuse you if you want to know the truth. So here I have also seemed to have written down something about upcoming EPs, and this is where I'm super pumped. I'm super stoked, guys, as the time when I wrote this upcoming EPs it is no longer upcoming EPs. These are now EPs available for streaming on YouTube. There are 4 in total that you can check out, and I mentioned the cool details about it, but I don't believe it's too much. I can't brag, can't talk about it too much, but it's like a Fight Club thing, I guess. Anyway, moving on along, down the line, writing my narratives manually. I mentioned a little bit about that, but there's that for the movie and for the albums. Even these upcoming EPs, I guess I still technically have the upcoming EPs that are just going to catch you off guard. I'm gonna utilize the element of surprise and let these. I knew that freaking. I swear to God, I knew that interlude, that little interlude thing was gonna show up right as soon as I said that. But it did. Lame, cliche, I know. Really lame and cliche, I know. But that was also kind of cool. Anyway, the other upcoming EP's got to catch you off guard and surprise too. But I don't want to, and can't really talk about it much anyway. I just want to do the thing on Twitch where you could see a viewing party. I'll throw a viewing stream party on Twitch. Ooh la la. And then we can enjoy my music together. Anyway, that's also the link to that Twitch channel is also available on the link tree. I have some more stuff here that is going to be possibly a little unsettling. It's not for the faint of heart. I wrote this down and I quote myself: making the music and art manually and not using AI. So this is a quick discussion because I go over this a couple times. This is what everybody else is discussing on their podcasts. And so I don't want to take up too much time on this discussion. However, it is vital, very important. The amount of AI music being generated, the amount of AI music being consumed, and the amount of AI music that is accepted or not accepted into certain platforms. If you heard episode 29, I think, 28, 29, one of those two, I mentioned that the all famous place to go for looking up any kind of information about this genre, this musical genre, has posted an article that I quoted and I read, that they are not allowing AI artists. They are going to do their best to filter out who is and is not AI, and it goes completely against the vision and why they started the website. So having that be one platform that does not allow it, whether I agree with it or not, it matters not as much as me coming back to you at a future episode and letting you know what I found on other platforms and what they are allowing in this realm and domain. For there simply cannot be I simply just can't have a biased attitude towards this. I just can't. I really can't. I have to be sort of kind of on the fence with that a little bit, especially considering my lack of experience in even using this technology. So having the whole thing being super ambiguous for the time being, I might just have to even just leave it there. As I said, I don't want to take up too much time discussing that. So, and I also don't have much of an opinion about it. I just think my opinion is do it manually. Create your art manually. Take the time. Nobody has the time. Nobody ever does have the time. Nobody ever did have the time. I can't think of a time that someone ever had time. No one ever has time for anything. Wah and blah blah and all that sort of thing and all that jazz. There's going to be probably a time where you won't have a choice. It's just going to be AI or the highway. Okay, so like where I stand on it is just like whatever, do it yourself type of thing. So the type of deal, type of situation that we have on our hands with all that is simply is to be revealed in the future episodes. Like I said, from what I gather from more than just listening to another podcast, and as well as you, the listener, is important and vital that you gather more than just what you hear on a podcast. So that's where I'm going to leave it, and moving on along down the line here. But for the record, I don't, just to remind you, I don't use AI. I'm not using AI. Okay, that's the end of that. Back on to a little bit changing the subject. For some reason, I wrote down talking about my physical exercise routines that I haven't got back on. I have the same exercise routine as I do my rehearsing routines for my music. It's just everything just natural. Everything's totally natural. I exercise like crazy when I'm doing something, and then I sing like crazy when I'm singing something. I don't even know why I write this shit down. I don't know what the fuck. But finger exercises is relevant. That is relevant discussion to have. These finger exercise shorts that I have on YouTube, on my official mickeygemineye official YouTube channel, have some good feedback. Somebody's watching these videos, liking it and saying something about it, clicking like, blah blah blah. The subscribers are going up. I'm delighted to see that as well. Guitar hacks. The guitar hacks are going to keep coming. I have a few guitar hacks, but the last one I put up, I really just was like, there's like the only one of my shorts that I was actually watching, and I was like looking at it, and it just kind of like, well, I don't know, it's just these little short videos that you just put out, and people like them. So I'm aiming towards putting these out, having something educational so that you can use it and be a better guitarist. I don't know, that's probably like crazy talk or something, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff that I write down too, and I don't even know what I don't even know. I can't get lost in the rabbit hole of being too detailed, and I can't be too general, like with this one, where I don't even know what I was trying to say. So anyway, I'll just keep trucking anyway. I've been living under a rock recently, as in not really consuming much media, keeping up with the news, not really watching much movies. I just kind of get out and coagulate with my surrounding environment in whatever way's natural. I don't really get out, go to these parties and these events much often. And there's no reason why either. There's not even really, it's not heads or tails about any of it either. It's just, I just don't want to, so I don't. And then, when that changes, I'm sure I'll have like some videos I'm sharing on my Instagram or something like that. But I don't know, I guess I should soon, go find some events and concerts and stuff and whatever. I mean, there was the me sharing events and festivals with you guys that happened last episode or the episode before last, where I realized, hey, I could sit here and tell you guys about all these festivals and these concerts that are going on and these events, but I mean, all I'm doing that for is just so that I can get like find artists that I like their music, get their music into my head and soak it up a little bit, which I don't need to be doing right now anyway, with the massive workload I'm taking on and all the EPs I'm putting out in a short span of time and all the music I'm putting out. A, and B, I'm just trying to really get. I'm just really trying to get all these artists, like on an interview on the show where we're discussing stuff, and then you guys can. It's helpful to you, the listener. So living under a rock for now, until further notice. I'm needing better phone. I have and equipment, and I just have this phone. Like I was mentioning earlier, it's very sensitive. I can't just get attached to it because it mirrors and reflects my personality. That's not conducive to business, and I certainly am a businessman for sure. So I don't know how ridiculous it could be that I'm even doing all this, but it is crazy and ridiculous, as it always has been for me. As for that, I definitely have to leave that one there with a cool discussion before getting into the first freaking actual supernatural experience, paranormal experience, paranormal activity type topic that I have to crack the egg on this one with. And last but not least, that I have written down right here, I don't, you know what I also, hold on a sec, I don't think I have interlude music coming in. I was kind of hoping for that interlude music to come in, but it looks like it isn't. So, anyway, just a thought here. This is actually even a brief one, too. You could just take this one in passing and take it for a grain of salt. But the pictures floating around the web of Kanye West wearing a Burzum t-shirt and advertising black metal can be confusing, as it was to me personally, thinking to myself, well, people who know him know he's from Chicago. They see him wearing the t-shirt, they might think they're from Chicago, and then that can be confusing. And then, is this his intention? And then, what would he say in response to this claim, or this statement, or comment? I don't know, just saying, just throwing it out there. There's a lot of other stuff that could even be said too, but it's neither here nor there. So the interlude music isn't added for me this time, like it was a second ago, but I'm gonna add it in before I share this podcast. I think I'm gonna have to add it in before I post this and publish this. It's just gonna have to happen. I gotta do it. And let's get into it. Some paranormal and supernatural experiences, paranormal activity. Vault of Doom podcast. Alright, so here it goes. So there was this time in my life where I met some pretty cool guy, and then we were getting along swimmingly, and we had this common thread, and I'm like sharing a lot of very intellectually stimulating conversations with this gentleman, and we got along famously. It was an amazing and important event in my life, until one night, for some reason or other, I have bad luck and bad juju upon anything that has to do with Zen and Zen Buddhism and like Zen philosophy, any time I get a discussion about Zen and Zen Buddhism and Zen philosophy, for some reason something bad always happens. It's something about the black and the white and the yin yang. It's just got a bad vibe attached to it or something for me. But we got into an argument over something, and I left in the middle of the night, as I often do, when it not just Zen or yin yang discussions, but just if something triggers me, I go gallivanting off to the faraway land or something like that. And this this thing that happened immediately after was not a faraway land at all. I left in the middle of the night, and I was maybe half a mile down the street when I was like, all right, this is where I'm gonna lay down and sleep. So I laid down. I literally shut my eyes, was getting ready to sleep, and I hear something. So I look down the road, and I swear I saw Sasquatch. I saw Sasquatch himself, like, just like standing there and like breathing heavily, and he was just like Sasquatch, dude. So this is my first attempt at trying these topics to spice things up a little bit on the show. I'm pretty sure I have enjoyed that discussion, like that little short, concise tidbit of paranormal experience. And that, my friends, is all that I have for the show. And I have to also make sure that I freaking end it the same way as I do when I'm feeling frisky. And I should just make sure that I am feeling frisky more often. And on that note, folks, this is I am mickeygemineye. This has been the Vault of Doom, episode 31. And remember too. Oh, and hail Satan for this episode, but I'm not going to say it every episode. Hail Satan. And also, remember, folks, don't make deadlines for stuff, because I think that's why I wrote that down too. I forgot to mention that a little bit. It's like you make deadlines for stuff. Oh, I mentioned that on the last episode. Okay, good. I'm good. We're good. We're out here. All right, hail Satan. See you guys later. All right, bye.
It's not to be a possibility, continuing low stepping boundaries, solar ripples, somewhere that goes, making ways through the abyss. I see for myself the bizarrities to overlook all of it. Directions to the nearest exit already given. So I cry about this hell while I dig myself deeper in it. Swallowed by worthless shells, designed to maleficent echo ripples, waves of peace, isolating space. I'm in an ocean of thought, imagination, isolated echo screaming in the abyss.